Ha! Hey everyone, Hassan here, and got another Power Rangers Super Megaforce review for you today. This is the Deluxe FX Super Mega Red Ranger. So this is the line of the Rangers that have the sound effects. They had some for Megaforce with the Red Ranger and Robo Knight, and now we have the Red Ranger for Super Megaforce. And this one's kind of slightly different. It has, instead of having a button for sounds, you shake the toy basically. So here's the packaging. As you can see, Red Ranger, and there's the Super Mega Saber there as well. You have the logo and all that fun stuff. It's a shake for sounds, and it says "Let's power up." I've noticed that phrase used quite a bit, so it's been my prediction that they're going to say "Let's power up" to transform either from Megaforce to Super Megaforce, or they'll use that to transform into other Power Rangers. But I think that catchphrase is going to be on the show. But just my prediction. But anyways, it's a shake for sounds. There's a whole try me thing, but the little tabs in there. But I'll show you guys all that fun stuff. The sides, nothing special there, just UPC there. The back then says, well, first of all, you have the Red Rangers kind of there. Let's see, you got Super Megaforce, Megaforce, Samurai, Mighty Morphin, Wild Force. It has battle sounds and phrases like "Let's power up" and "It's Morphin time." And you can unlock the theme song. Unlock more sounds the more you play. That's interesting. So there's all that fun stuff. On the bottom, also available, so there's the Megaforce Red Ranger again, which I have and I've done a review of, and all the different Ranger keys and stuff there. So yeah, that is this little figure here. So let's open this up and take a look. Alright, so I got them all opened up, and there it is. There is the Deluxe FX Super Mega Red Ranger out of the package right there. So let's get this out of the way and focus on the Ranger itself. So yeah, I mean, this guy looks pretty good in my opinion. He is kind of a bit like a little bit muscular. It's kind of hard to tell with the little chest piece right there, so he is a little like extra muscular. But that's kind of how a lot of Power Ranger toys have been recently, although the Super Megaforce ones are not as bad as some other ones in the past. Let's move this out of there for a second, just focus on the Ranger itself. So yeah, I mean, just look at the helmet, everything. Ooh, there's paint kind of scratched or faded on this one a little bit, but I mean, overall, aside from that little thing there, the helmet looks great. The suit looks great. Some nice, like, kind of gold paint on there. You have the little buckle, which looks good and everything. Yeah, I mean, this figure just all around looks pretty solid in my opinion. I really like the suits, the little pirate suits that they have, and I think this would be a great display piece. Like, look at this guy. Just imagine him just like standing, you know, on a display case or something. It makes me really wish that they would make a full team of this size Power Rangers. Could you imagine that? That would be so awesome. Like, please, Bandai, if you could ever do that, that would be amazing. The full team of Rangers this size. Really cool. Yeah, so I definitely like this guy. In terms of articulation, the helmet turns about that much, and then you have the collar in the way, so that's all you get there. The arms rotate around like that, move up about that much. No elbow or any articulation there. This part here, the wrist, there, the hand is attached to the little cuff there, which this all rotates around 360 degrees. The legs, he can do the splits, so he goes that far. He can kick forward, not as much back, but still pretty decent there. And then the whole boot does rotate around, oops, blurry, rotate around 360 degrees there. So yeah, would have been nice to have a lot more articulation, like especially elbow and knee articulation. That would have made this figure perfect. I think that's the one thing lacking about these figures. They're awesome, like they're nice and big, they look great, but if they would have had a bit more articulation, that would have been perfect. I will show you a comparison with the Megaforce ones towards the end of this little review here. I mean, in terms of just this figure, I really like the look of it. He also comes with the Super Mega Saber, so pretty big, and it has some nice detail on it. As you can see, it has the little symbol there and everything. You can even see the little symbol on there. Yeah, I mean, some pretty nice detail on this thing. Obviously, no paint. If somebody painted this, I've never really painted any of the toys, but if you painted this would look pretty solid because it's pretty big. So with paint, this would look absolutely amazing. It's just kind of your standard gray color there. And he can hold this as well, so I'll just put this in his hand there, if I can get it in. There we go. So now he's holding it. So yeah, I mean, again, pretty solid figure there. So the main little gimmick of this line, since it's an FX Ranger, we have sound effects. So what you do, this guy has an on-off switch. Unlike the Megaforce ones, they did not have an on-off switch, but that's because they had a button. For the Megaforce ones, you just pushed a button right here, and then they played sounds. This guy doesn't. Instead, you shake him, and then he'll play sounds. So you can hear a little tiny rattle, maybe. I don't know if it's showing up if you can hear it in the camera or not, but every time you hear a little rattle, it kind of shakes it and then plays a sound, but I have to turn it on first. So, on-off switch right there. Let's turn this on. It'll play a sound. So it plays that sound there. And then it basically, oops, see, it's kind of, sometimes it's really sensitive and then sometimes it's not. So like that, I barely moved him and it made a sound, but then other times I'll shake him and it won't. So it's a little weird. It plays a couple of random like battle effects, like sword clashing sounds, but it also says 2 different phrases. So let's just kind of shake him and get a bunch of random sounds.
It's morphin' time!
So it's morphin' time is one of the things that he says. See, it didn't do it there. We have that sound effect. And you have to like, it says let's power up. You have to like wait a second. So as soon as you shake it, it doesn't, I have to like wait and then see if it says anything. Like that. See, no, sometimes it doesn't do it. No? So basically just a random sound, oh, see I barely moved it and it made a sound. Random sound effects and then it just, I'm barely moving the guy and he's making sound effects. I don't know what's up with this guy, it's a little weird. So yeah, just a couple sound effects. It's morphin' time, like he just said as I said it, so there you go. And let's power up. So some nice little sound effects there. But personally, I would have much rather had the button. I think it's weird to shake the thing. Like you just shake it, wait for the sound, if it does or not. It's really awkward. I would have much preferred a button, especially like right there. You got the buckle, just push the buckle, would have been perfect. So that's one thing that I don't like about this, that they did have with the Megaforce ones. Those had the buttons, this one doesn't. But this one also has one other little feature, and if you shake it 3 times, then it plays the theme song. So here we go. Or not. Let's try this again. Come on now. I guess I can just shake it a bunch. No? It was just doing it before. Wow, it really doesn't want to. It's supposed to. I was never having this much trouble with it before. Let me turn it off and on again. I mean, it just goes to show you, why couldn't they have just had you holding down the button and then it plays the theme song? Instead, you gotta like try and mess with this thing. Alright, let's seriously, ready, Troy? Come on, I want to hear the theme song! There we go. So it plays the same bit of the theme song that it does there, and then Troy says, Super Mega Rangers, that was a mega win. So it looks like that whole tagline, I guess, his little catchphrase is going to continue into the next season. So there's that. But yeah, it was not that hard to do it before, but that just shows you how awkward the shaking thing is. It's just really weird. And you have to be careful, because once the theme song starts, if you shake them again, it'll like play a different sound effect and cancel the theme song. Like, if I can do that. So if the theme song plays and you kind of shake them, it'll cancel it. So you just kind of have to be careful. So again, I think that's a real... Now he's just randomly playing... I don't know what's wrong with this guy. He's just being weird now. So yeah, there's that. So anyways, let's do a little comparison now with the Megaforce one. So here is Super Megaforce Red, and here is Megaforce Red. So I'm very glad that they kept them basically in the same scale. So you have, you know, same size and everything kind of compare. So there you have it. And they actually look quite different next to each other. I don't know if it's because this guy, his chest is very like puffy, like it's not really muscular, it's just a big round thing, and this is kind of more muscular. So maybe it just looks a little odd in that sense, I don't know. But they actually look quite different when next to each other. That's gonna be really interesting to see this guy transform into this. So I'm very curious to see how they do that transformation sequence on the show. But you can see they look great together, like having them on the same scale. And then there's Robo Knight as well, which I'll put him in here. So let's scoot these guys over, and the awesome Robo Knight can join the fun there. So yeah, I love having these bigger figures. I think they look great. The downside of these figures, like I said, is the articulation. If their elbows and knees would be able to bend, they would be absolutely amazing figures. As is, they're good, but the articulation would have made them even better. But I definitely prefer these guys to the Super Megaforce, because all you do with this,
Megaforce Rangers, that's a mega win.
and then with this, and Robo Knight's extra awesome because he actually has lights there, so he just looks just freaking amazing. Like, this is just awesome. But this guy, you gotta go all... Yeah, that's what you gotta do. So, anyways, while that plays, I'll just kind of talk. But, yeah, so, I mean, I think he looks great just in that scale and everything. But like I said, downsides being there's no articulation there, and then the weird shaking gimmick. So if you want him just for a nice display piece, then yeah, I mean, it's nice to have the theme song, but it's so difficult to get him to...
That was a mega win.
It's so difficult to even get him to play the theme song that it's just not even worth it. So, I don't know. In my opinion, I think this looks awesome as a display piece, and I would have loved for them to release the rest of the team, although they're not going to, because that's just how Bandai is. But yeah, I mean, I think as a display piece, this is great, especially if you're going to display them with like Megaforce Red or something, just to have, you know, those two side by side, same character, you know, one season to the other transformation thing. But in terms of the actual gimmick itself, this is just weird, you know? Like, I don't want to be just shaking the thing just to get sounds. Like, just, no, it just doesn't work. I'm sorry. Yeah, so I don't know. Like I said, kids may enjoy it more, but I think they would have even preferred the button more because this is just awkward. So that's my review of this. If you guys have any questions, please post them in the comments below. Please subscribe if you haven't already. Got lots more reviews on the way as well, so definitely stay tuned for that. And that is it. That is the Deluxe FX Super Mega Red Ranger. I think I said that correctly. So yeah, thanks for watching, everybody, and see you guys later.